Welcome to How to TV. I am your host, Mark Helvoleo, and for this topic, we're going to tackle how to install Jenkins, and of course, we're going to use our AWS EC2. And without further ado, let's go. Okay. So here am I with my EC2 instances. So if you're going to access with your AWS and you're going to install, you need to click to the EC2, which is our virtual server. Okay, you can also, since our topic is about Jenkins, so we are not limited here to install a Jenkins to our cloud services, but we can also install in our own workstations or our virtual box in our local host or local workstations. But in my demo right now, we're going to use our AWS. So here in the instances, we're going to create our new instances for the basic EC2. I'm going to name it Jenkins server, and then afterward we're going to use Ubuntu because this is I used to use OS, and we're going to use free tier eligible. And since I'm still free eligible, because I know that I almost expired my free tier for this year. Okay, but perhaps I can still use the free tier, so we rather use free tier right now. And for the instance type, we're going to T2 micro, which is our basic instance type. We choose our key pair. So if you don't know how to use how to create a key pair, we can create a key pair here. So key pair here, and then there's a step-by-step doing that. Since my key pair is already created, I rather choose this key pair of mine. And then for the network, we're going to use my default security for my example. And then for the configuration of storage, I rather leave it to 8 GB. It's very comfortable for our Jenkins, and we're going to launch. The next step we're going to do is we need to use our Jenkins documentation. You can type the Jenkins in your browser and then click the documentation and then install Jenkins, and you choose. There's a bunch of installing Jenkins. If you're going to install the Docker, Kubernetes, or Linux OS, and even Mac and Windows. And of course, since we deploy in our instances Ubuntu, we're going to use Linux, and we have different distro for our Linux since we use Ubuntu. So this is the thing that we need to do. But of course, we're not going to install it. We cannot still install it. We need to access it. Our EC2 that we created. Okay, since we're going to use for a while our EC2 Connect in our admin, but if you're going to use our downloaded key pair, you can choose this step instead, okay, for your connecting your server to your terminal, or if you're using Windows, you have to install PATI or any other third-party software for connecting our HCS in our server. Since I'm going to use the EC2 Instance Connect, and click this one and connect, and we're going to, and here we're going to connect our server to our server. What we're going to do before you're going to reformat or in your workstation, or you spin OS EC2 in your AWS services, AWS cloud services, you're going to update your system. Okay, after that, we're going to our next procedure to install the Jenkins. But before we're going to install our Jenkins, we need to install our Open JTK. Okay, we need the requirements for this one. Or how we're going to install that, okay, so 2.2, okay, 2.2. I think it's very simple. Only we need only to search our OpenDS, Open JTK, which is 17. Since we know the GTK versions that we want to install, we're going to install this one. Okay, go back to our terminal and then paste. There you go. Say yes, so that our Java will be installed to our server, and we can install our Jenkins. So going back here, this is the next step. Okay, so we're done, and here we're going to start to use this step. Paste, and then clearing the Jenkins list so that we can update on it and update in our app. apt, there we go, and we're going to update it once again. Once we update, we can install the Jenkins. Okay, we're done, and paste install Jenkins. Yes. Okay, it will takes for a while to install the Jenkins, and we are done. So he will create a symlink for this one. So I think we have already documentation on how to install. The problem earlier we still searched how to install the OpenGTK, since the Jenkins is already provided for us. This is the step. Okay. Right, so we're done, and what we're going to do, we're going to enable our Jenkins, paste on it. Okay. And we're going to start our Jenkins. Pretty easy, right? Because our document is very user friendly for those who've been starting to install Jenkins. We're going to start checking our status of our Jenkins. It is running. Okay, it's running. Right now we're going to access our Jenkins with our so what our public address is this one, and I think 5,000. Am I correct with this one? What port? Oh, 8080. We'll check if our alright. We already configure our security group, so we open the port of 8080 because the Jenkins by default he's using 8080 port, and as I get my public address here, I put it here in my new open tab and put the 8080. It will put us here. It will give us the login admin, and he'll provide us the password. So for us to access this password, we're going to come back here in our terminal, and we're going to use the cat. If we don't know the cat, the basic to view our file, and perhaps we're not allowed to view it because it's used to access by administrator. I'm going to use the sudo, and here's the password, and copy and paste for our temporary administrator password, and you will see we have already our Jenkins installed. So we can also install the suggested plugin, and let us finish the Jenkins what he started right now. Okay, we do have our password. I'll give my username as this, and password, email, and save. And we're going to save this one, and we can start using our Jenkins. Oh, so congratulations, and we already successfully installed our questions earlier on how to install the Jenkins, and I hope that this video is will help you guys on how to install our Jenkins to our AWS, and I'll see you in the next video.